Come to front, come to pray. Let's be together. Shabbat is here, so are we. Let's all find a seat and grab a siddur on the way, so we can be on the same page. And grab a siddur on the way, so we can be all on the same page. Yai nai nai, 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 yai nai Breathe out the week. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good one. Yeah. So let's wave it to everybody in YouTube land. Shabbat Shalom. Hanukkah is almost here. Hey, Mike, you want to light the candles? You up for that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can, but last time I checked, didn't have that much. You know what? Let me light it for you, then you can just take the wick. Oh, you can do it? Okay, great. You do that. I'm going to get some handouts. Yeah, those don't work so well either. Could be damp.
You want to try?
Yeah, let me try.
Sorry.
No, it's not you. Can't even get the matches to work. Oops. That's great. Fantastic. Come on. Live. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Good Shabbos. Page 5. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu Shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchi lanu zikaron l'mahaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'harta ve'otanu Kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch ata Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chayim.
Amen.
I'm ringing. All right. Let's, does everybody know? Did everybody get to meet everybody? There's going to be a quiz later on names. Okay. As long as you know you're going to pass the quiz. Take what? What page is it, Ben? What page is L'chado Dion?
20.
Page 20. Oh, no, we're not talking L'chado Dion. I'm sorry, Shalom Aleichem.
Page 24.
Page 24. Welcoming the better angels. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, in peace. They've blessed us in peace. They stay for a while, and we would bid them shalom. Tzedchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi melech, malachei hamlachim. So the question is, as you're welcoming those messengers of shalom that come visit us every week, what's your prayer that they bless you with? What would you like to be blessed with most this Shabbat? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 24. No, we already did that. No, this one has no words. This one has no text. Text is here. So Glenn, give us one of those really great deep breaths, those cleansing, thank God it's Shabbos breaths. Scan your body. Scan your body for any tension that you're carrying, that you want to leave. Leave it back in last week. Feel the expansiveness each time you take one of those deep cleansing breaths. What is it that you'd like to make room for this day? you draw on a memory of real peace, of real quiet, of real connection, of real delight. Hold on to that connection, hold on to that vision. Make room for more of that this day. And mostly, just be here now. There's no other place to be. Nothing else that needs to be done. No one else you need to be with. You're exactly where you need to be right now. And sing out from that place of expansiveness with me on page 16. How does a mountain sing? Boy, those clouds were singing last night, weren't they? The wind was singing, and the rain was singing, and my poor little dog was howling. She was so scared. Let's put our fingers in page 44 and turn to page 13, bottom paragraph. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, yiram hayam, yiram hayam, umelo. Yiram hayam, yiram hayam, yiram hayam, umelo. 44. Yismechu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korel oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korel oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei, mekadeshei shvi Shabbat, kulam yisbehu v'yitangu metuvecha Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Ve'ashvi Ratzita bo Ve'kidashto Shabbat Chemdad Yamim U'tokarata Shabbat Yismechu Le'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu Le'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat Korei Oneg Shabbat Zecher L'maseh v'reishit Shabbat Zecher L'maseh v'reishit Shabbat Yismechu v'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu V'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat Oh, call it a delight V'korei Oneg Shabbat We turn to page 20 for L'chadodi. Oh, hold that vision before your eyes. Something you yearn to feast your eyes on, or your ears, or your touch, or your smell, or your taste. Welcome, welcome that oneg, that delight.
L'chadodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela L'chadodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela L'chadodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela L'chadodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
We're going to do 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Shamor v'zachor v'nibor echad Hishmiyanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad Shemo echad L'shem ol tiferet v'letila L'chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela L'chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela
Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor habracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshavati la
L'chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela L'chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Hitoreri kiva orech kumihuri Uri shedaberi Gevor Adonai alai l'nigla L'chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela L'chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela
Please rise if you're able and face the entrance. 9th stanza. Boi v'shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha u'v'tzolat toch emune am segula boi chala
Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Please remain standing. We face the ark for the Baruch Hu on page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed. Be seated. Find in the handout Evening the Evenings. Sacred words, even the evenings. Wisdom opens gates locked around our hearts. Asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chochma poteach she'arim. Evening the frayed edges of our lives. Mariv aravim. Amen. Understanding alters with the times, changing seasons, cycles divine. Uvitbuna mishaneh itim, umachalif et hazmanim. Evening the frayed edges of our lives. Mariv aravim. Amen. Paint diamonds on the canvas called sky. Soothe our souls with a lilting lullaby. O misaderet hakochavim b'mishmorotehem b'rakia kirtzono. Evening the frayed edges of our lives. Mariv aravim. Amen. Rolling into the night. Rolling away the light. Golden or mipnei hoshech, vehoshech mipnei or. Evening the frayed edges of our lives. Mariv aravim. Amen. Spirit of the night, we bless your name. Eternal light, eternal flame. El Chai v'Kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Evening the frayed edges of our lives. Mariv are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, an unending love. We're embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we're too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we're too embittered to hear. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, an unending love. We are loved, 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 loved by an unending love, an unending love. We're supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we're too weak for meeting. We are loved, 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 loved by an unending love, an unending love. We are loved, 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 loved by an unending love, an unending love. Embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, an unending love. ואהבת אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך שמו,
אוהב עמו ישראל. 34. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Emet. Can we turn to page 39 at the top and read that all together? Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there's a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, and that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Mi Chamocha, page 40, our redemption song.
Bim bam, hi da 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 da, ya ba 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 bim bam, hi da 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 da, ya ba 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 bim bam. Mihi chamocha ba'alim Adonai, mihi kamocha nehar b'kodesh, norati lo osefele, norati lo osefele. Mahalechutecha rahu vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam. Zeli zeli anu ve'amru, Adonai himloch le'olam va'ed. Hai da da him da 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 ya ba 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 bim bam, da 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 ya da 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 da. Hi da 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 ya da 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 da. Hi da 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 ya da 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 da. ונאמר כי פרנאי את יעקב ויעלו מיה חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
43. This part depends on all of us, actually. The English, but the sentiment too.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu,
Peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let
B'hamidenu
and understanding
Ufros Aleinu
be our
Sukat Zomecha. Let there be love,
Adonai
understanding among us.
Hashkivenu.
Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Adonai, blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us and all your people Israel, all over the world and all over Jerusalem. invite us to rise with the Amidah, where we begin on page 46, just asking that those words might flow. Let them rise up and flow. Yadonai, 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 Adonai. Yadonai, 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 Sfatai Tiftach. Adonai, 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, 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 Adonai. Adonai, 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 Sfatai Tiftach. Adonai, 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Yadonai, 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 Adonai. Adonai, 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 Sfatai Tiftach. Adonai, 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, Eloyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, מושיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, בחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממיד ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעלוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please continue privately either the text between 54 and 60 or the text of your hearts. We'll meet back on 62, and feel free to be seated when you've said what you need to say. shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'ibru. May the one who makes peace above bring that peace, let it spread upon us, upon the entire world, all who dwell within. Let us say amen. And may it also be that healing is spread among all those who need it. Healing of body, of spirit, psyche, self, relationship, any and all. Page 253, middle of the page. Our Mishaberach l'cholim, Mishaberach for the ill.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor habracha V'yimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. Let us say Amen.
This week we're especially thinking of Millie Rottenberg, Howard Simon, Gloria Berkowitz, Githel Bat Chana, Beryl Ben Sima Vishmuel Leib, Steve Gellis, Sholem Avram Ben Goldaveh Yeshayahu, Michael Rosenblum, Harav Miriam Yael Chaya Bat Sarah Yitzchak, Maxwell Zwain, Menachem Mendel Ben Yehudit Michael, Alan Mentha, Alon Ben Yael Perel, Eric Rivchin, Luke Wright, Grendel Chaya Rafaela Bat Yehudit Sharon, Dolores Mikkel, Harav Eliyahu Ben Miriam V'Avraham, Anita Wellen, James Janelle and Bill Edgar, Dr. Valerie Lani, Elia Tario, William Hall, Barbara Hall, Nachama Fega, and to these names we add.
Mishaberach imotenu Mekor habracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. And let us say Amen.
May they know healing and health soon and uneventfully. I just want to add Elia. You know Elia, she's here a lot. She's on the list. She actually has been in intensive care for the better part of the last 2 weeks. She's intubated. They're hoping that she can breathe on her own. They're waiting for her to come out of sedation. Not entirely sure what's going on, but I'm in touch with her daughter. It's been pretty scary. There was something really bad going on, but we don't know exactly what yet. But as soon as I know, I'll let you all know. She's in Staten Island, but she's still not conscious. So we're praying for her for sure. Yeah. So I got a little story. It's a story I've told before, not that often, but I don't know, it just has this ring of truth that speaks to me. I actually understand it's a Zen Buddhist story, but you know, all good stories have eternal wisdom, universal wisdom. Goes like this. One late in summer, an old farmer was working in his field with his old sick horse. The farmer felt compassion for the horse and desired to lift its burden. So he left his horse, let it go loose to go to the mountains and live out the rest of his life in peace, unburdened. And soon after, neighbors from the nearby village visited, offering their condolences, and said, "Oh, what a shame. Now your only horse is gone. How unfortunate you are. You must be very, very sad. How will you live? How will you work the land? How will you prosper?" And the farmer replied, "Maybe so, maybe not. Or who knows? We shall see." 2 days later, the old horse came back, now rejuvenated, after meandering in the mountainsides while eating the wild grasses, and he came back with 12 new, young, healthy horses, which followed the old horse into the corral. And word got out into the village of the old farmer's good fortune, and it wasn't long before the people of the village stopped by to congratulate the farmer on his very good luck. "How fortunate you are," they exclaimed. "Oh, you must be so happy." Again, the farmer softly said, "Maybe so, maybe not. Who knows? We shall see." At daybreak the next morning, the farmer's only son set off to attempt to train the new wild horses. But the farmer's son was thrown to the ground and broke his leg. And one of the villagers arrived during the day to bemoan the farmer's latest misadventure and misfortune. "Oh, what a tragedy." This is where it should be a Jewish story. "Oh, what a tragedy. Your son won't be able to help you farm with a broken leg. You're going to have to do all the work by yourself. How will you survive? You must be terribly, terribly sad." Calmly going about his usual business, the farmer calmly answered, "Maybe so, maybe not. Who knows? We shall see." Well, several days later, a war broke out, and the emperor's men arrived in the village demanding that every single young man of able body come with them to be conscripted into the emperor's army. And as it happened, the farmer's son was deemed unfit because of his broken leg. And in the tea house, the villagers again commented, "Oh, what very good fortune you have. You must be very happy," as their own sons were carried away with the army. And the farmer just replied, "Maybe so. Who knows? We shall see," replied the old farmer as he head off to work in his field alone. Well, as time went on, the broken leg healed, but the son was left with a slight limp. And again, the neighbors came by to pay their condolences. "Oh, what bad luck. Too bad for you." But the old farmer simply replied, "Maybe so, maybe not. We shall see." As it turned out, the other young boys of the village had died of the war, and the old farmer and his son were the only able-bodied men capable of working the village lands. And the old farmer became very, very wealthy and was very generous to the villagers. And they said, "Oh, how fortunate you are. You must be so very happy." To which the farmer replied, "Who knows? We shall see." So I had the opportunity to speak with Rabbi Brian Beal this morning. Does anybody remember Rabbi Beal? So Rabbi Beal, so Rabbi Beal was the interim rabbi before I arrived here. And the truth is that when When a congregation is going through a transition and needs a little shaking up, they bring in an interim because that rabbi knows they're just there for a year and they just speak the plain truth. And they're not worried about offending anybody because they're going to be gone in a year. And then the new rabbi comes in and everybody's been so thoroughly shaken up that I'm not saying it's an easy job, but it serves its purpose. Anyway, so Rabbi Beal was here for the year 4.5 years ago before I was here. And it was a very different place, actually, Temple Beth-El, in many different ways. And we were reflecting, because nobody really gets it, like two rabbis that serve the same congregation right after the other. So we're reflecting on all of the changes at Temple Beth-El, and especially also in the Jewish world since COVID, in the 4.5 years since he was our interim rabbi. And we were wondering sort of like, what was the blessing? What have the blessings been? And how have the curses been? And he was remarking about how not so long ago, synagogues wouldn't dream of taking government money. There was there's a separation between church and state, and we don't want to bring the government into our business. And as you all know, so we've been the recipient of quite a bit of government money, and there's still more coming. So that's a very, very different. And we were talking about how COVID also changed the world. And of course it was a curse. So many people were sick and died and were isolated, frightened, anxious. We're still healing to a certain extent. Children stopped learning. And with the temple, right, we lost members. We had to go virtual. We got really rusty in our spiritual practices and lost our church tenants. But then we had these blessings too, right? New science, vaccines, new ways of conducting business over Zoom. We can say hi to our friends in YouTube land so more people could participate. We started on the mission of transforming our social hall into a new wing, and really the impetus of that was because the kids were all stuck up there and we knew how unhealthy that was going to be, right? So there were the blessings, and then came the curse, right? Hurricane Ida completely destroyed our social hall just when we were on the verge of starting to transform it modestly, but we were going to be transforming the social hall, and that hurricane, of course, rendered it completely useless, totally unfit, and even dangerous for a while, with mold. But then the blessing came, right? A FEMA grant and a couple of Homeland Security grants offering us money not only to restore it, but to bring it up to really modern codes and safety. But then the curse. How are we going to come up with the extra 10% of the money that FEMA's not going to cover? But now the blessing, the opportunity for everybody to be connected to TVE as part of this incredible project. And in quintessential Temple Beth-El style, those who have more and who can give more, and those who have less, give less. But as a community, we're all stepping up to put out that our gelt in that 10% pot. If you haven't yet, please do. After Shabbat. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when the holidays come, they always seem so far away until they're happening in 2 days. So that's happened to me. I had a really crazy week. It always happens right before the holidays. I can make a million reasons and a million excuses. Maybe you can too. I don't know, maybe you had a very zen week. But I'm embarrassed to say that I have done 0 Hanukkah shopping, 0. And the entire family, I'm having 14 people over for Hanukkah on Sunday. So I did order the donuts. That's about as far as I've gotten. The rest I have to worry about tomorrow night. I had all kinds of ideas. I just didn't get to it. I don't know. Have you all done all of your Hanukkah shopping? Yeah, right. So just because Hanukkah, as you know, if you've taken my class, or maybe not, is not a traditional gift-giving holiday in the Jewish tradition, that doesn't mean that my family hasn't completely jumped onto the cultural bandwagon, and we've exchanged gifts my whole life. So I don't know, many of you know that Hanukkah's not a traditional gift-giving holiday? Yeah, so the other holidays in the calendar are much more traditionally gift-giving holidays. For example, Purim. Giving gifts on Purim is actually elevated to the level of mitzvah. to exchange gift. Passover, especially to kids, we remember afikomen gifts, right? Everybody got an afikomen gift, right? So in some families, it's not just the kids, but yes. New clothes on Rosh Hashanah, that's more of a traditional time to be doing that. Even Shavuot, when we celebrate the gift of Torah, right? So that is matan, that is the gift. So gifts could be celebrated in that way. But Hanukkah, aside from gelt, right, chocolate gelt or little coins, which children have used to play dreidel for a very long time, historically, gifts, not a thing. Interestingly, the tradition of giving gelt, or money, is apparently an older practice with interesting not entirely like everybody agrees, but a lot of people do suggest that this is the story, because there are historical sources that mention that European Torah students used to give gelt to their teachers. Gelt meaning not chocolate gelt, but coins, money, to their teachers. And scholars suggest that this practice was perhaps inspired by the semantic and the etymological connection between the Hebrew word Chanukah, which means dedication, and the Hebrew word chinuk, which means education. So Chanukah and chinuk. Doubtless the practice arose because there actually is a prohibition against receiving money for teaching, so they were not allowed to pay teachers. So some students and communities began giving money as gift at Hanukkah time. So as a way of showing their love and appreciation. And very likely at that time, then some students began to receive money as well, thus creating a custom of giving money to children. But today's brand of Hanukkah gift giving, and especially the 8 nights, is absolutely rooted in 1950s America, when Jewish leaders were determined that a post-Holocaust Judaism, that post-Holocaust Jewish children would be happy to be Jewish at holiday time rather than miserable or resentful and jealous of their non-Jewish friends. And then sometime later, that whole idea, newfangled practice, gave birth to the myth and the scourge, if you will, that there needs to be a gift for every night. And so here we are. And here I am with the whole family coming on Sunday and no shopping done. And again, is this a blessing or is it a curse? I had to think about that, not only because I was wondering what I was going to talk about tonight, but also because I have less than 48 hours to figure this out. I was reminded of when my kids were younger. My youngest is now 27, so this I started to do when they were in college, right around college age, before they started working in earnest, before they had any money, and when they were still completely financially dependent upon me. I started a new gift-giving tradition in our family. Rather than a purchased gift, rather than asking them to buy me a gift, or they're being expected to buy gifts, I would ask them to bring me a gift in the form of thoughtful answers to questions I would ask them a week or two beforehand, and ask them to please really not only think about them, but write them down. And of course I would send them texts because they were college students and say, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. Now, truly, the answers, the discussions that we had, and what I learned, and how our relationships deepened because of these questions, they were really greater than any gift that anyone could have ever bought me. And I'm going to share some of the questions that I would ask them. This actually became a thing, and it went on over a couple years, so I didn't ask them all of these every year. I would only give them like 3. So I would say, name one way that you think you take after me. Name one way that you would like to take after me. Name one way that you're glad that you don't take after me. What are the 2 best memories you have of your childhood? What's the most important thing you think I've taught you so far? If you were going to make a list of a couple of rules to live by from Mom, what would they be? What's the most important thing I've taught you? Oh, that's a repeat. What's your favorite story about me? How have I most affected you? And how would you describe me to someone that doesn't know me? And then I would share with them what the most important thing each one of them had taught me, and the thing that I am most proud of in each of them. And I'm sure you can imagine that a parent with a, just out of adolescent child, hearing those things could be really incredible. But I dare say that offering those to a parent at any age would be something pretty amazing to talk about. And I'd also imagine that anybody that has been in your life, who you've been with, right? A partner, a beloved partner, or a sibling, that you could share that with them as well. And it would be a pretty incredible sharing. The other thing is that the jokes have to come later. It can't be joke answers, because that can easily devolve. You can do those, but after the real one. Now, of course, you don't have to have children to do this, but what a gift. And it got me thinking of what the best gifts we could either give or receive might be this year, especially if you hadn't gone shopping. Might we make a list of 8 questions to ask and 8 dreams to share with those around us? For example, we had an amazing transformation in our country this week. Republicans and Democrats in Congress passed a bill, and President Biden signed it, making gay and interracial marriage the law of the land. Even 15, 20 years ago, that didn't seem like that could be a national reality. And here we are today. In 1896, when talking about the dream of a Jewish national homeland in what was known then as Palestine, Theodor Herzl said, "If you will it, it is no dream." Of course, the phrase was also famously quoted in the cult classic The Big Lebowski, so if you heard it then, it's also there. But of course, that is as true today as it was then. Our LGBTQ brothers and sisters and our interracial families and friends made that happen. And there's so much else that we can also will to make happen. So I invite you to think about, what are the questions that you might ask? What are the dreams that you might share? I made my list of 8. I couldn't resist getting a 9th for the shamash. So what if doing the same for abortion rights? What about reeling in global warming? Making it a national priority to invest in education, science, and infrastructure. Real policies to erode poverty. Real policies to uproot and rout out racism and anti-Semitism. Fixing our dysfunctional criminal justice system. Creating sane gun laws. Giving dreamers their citizenship. And for the shamash, the one in the middle, I wish that those who dream of and act towards Israel destruction find a better use of their humanity and their time. And that Israel might heal from 75 plus years of feeling and being attacked and learn to equalize and humanize the minorities over whom they have power. So those are my 8 plus 9 that I thought of today. But what I would love is we actually have an even number. So I would love it if you guys would break into groups of 2 and just do some spitballing. What would your questions be to somebody who you love and you know? What might your dreams be? Let's listen to one another's ideas. So let's get into 1, 2, 3 groups of 2. And so Seth's behind you. So Ramethia, can you go with Seth? Yeah. Let's just take a few minutes and see what we come up with. So Mike, you and Jesse. Your questions and your dreams. Let's finish up our thoughts. Okay, let's reconvene. And I'm wondering if somebody wants to, does anybody want to share some of the good questions that you came up with? Anybody came up with?
Maybe this easy way out, but we were really inspired by a couple of questions that you shared with us. So for me, I'd like to understand what have you learned from me. Yeah, a lot of like how would you describe this?
Yeah, we don't think, right? We don't know how we affect people, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, especially when you've known them for a long time and your children, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
especially when you realize, oh my goodness, how much I got from my parents. What did they get from me? You know? Yeah, yeah. Did you guys come up with any good questions? What, can you want to share any? Mm-hmm. You can if you want. Avik. Hmm. Hmm. So did everybody hear that the question that Joe and Glenn came up with is what is the music that moved you most? And for Joe, that was Mahler's Fifth. Oh, I couldn't say that. The Song of the Earth. You guys come up with any questions that you particularly like? What are your questions that you like the best? Can you speak a little louder?
What have you done for other people that you're most proud of?
What have you done for other people that you're most proud of?
And recognizing that doesn't necessarily have to be some grand gesture.
It's true.
You accomplish in small ways.
It's true. Ramekhi, you got one? Glenn, did you have one?
I asked a question about, no, you asked me about food, right? I asked you about food. You asked me about food. Yeah, my question, yeah. I had answers to both. For the food, I pictured a hearty beef stew that when still hot and just before served, some sherry at the end.
Okay. Now, how about dreams? Did you get to share some dreams? Did you get the dreams? No, you didn't get the dreams. Okay. Well,
We did.
okay.
We had one, which was definitely inspired by your comments, the one you shared about Israel. Right, so taking it a slightly different direction about instead of dream for a lessening or disappearance or the hatred that seems to so rampant in society.
Oh, God, Yes, the divisiveness, the hatred, the resentment, yeah. So I think this is the real meaning of Hanukkah. That we keep the light of our dreams alive during the darkest days, because of course there's no accident that Hanukkah comes at those dark days. So by sharing our dreams, by sharing what we've learned, loved and cherished from our loved ones, tell them how they love, what you love about them, what you've learned from them, how you're like them, how you're not like them. Those of you who studied with me know that I put no credence into the miracle of the oil story at Hanukkah, but that doesn't mean I don't believe in miracles. Each time we light a new light, utter a heartfelt prayer, act on a dream, or dare to ask an unspoken question, we open the door to a miracle. So Shabbat Shalom, happy Hanukkah, and I hope you're better off. You're more ahead on the shopping than I am. Oh, goodness. We are going to announce the new month of Tevet. That's on prayer, page 261. May it be your will, Adonai, our God and God of our ancestors, to renew our lives in the coming month. Grant us a long life, a peaceful life with goodness and blessing, sustenance and physical vitality, a life informed by purity and piety, a life free from shame and reproach, a life of abundance and honor, a life embracing justice and love of Torah, a life in which our heart's desires for goodness will be fulfilled. And let us say, Amen. The new month of Tevet will begin next Shabbat and next Sunday. Rosh Chodesh Tevet Yeh Bayom HaShabbat HaKodesh Uvayom Rishon Haba Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael Tova Yechadeshehu Kadosh Baruch Hu Aleinu ve'al kol Amo Beit Yisrael L'chaim u'shalom. That's for life and for peace. Give me an amen. L'sason u'lesimcha. It's for gladness and for joy. Get an amen to that. L'farnasa tova u'livracha. For the ability to earn a good living and for blessing. Amen. L'yeshua u'lenechama. For redemption and for comfort. Amen. V'nomar Amen. Let's rise for Aleinu on page 282. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Please be seated. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall return to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. 287. V'nemar haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad. Our thoughts now turn to those who gave us life, those who walked with us, those who taught us, those who held our hand, but who no longer walk this earth. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 294. And we are in Shloshim for Susan Strauss Pinn. That's John Pinn's mom who died on Sunday night. We're observing the yahrzeit of Jorge Fallis, Rose Barrett Gerwitz, Jane Tuchsher Koskuba, Molly Kano of Levitov. Why don't you stand if I say the name of your loved one? And David Maslish. How many years has it been, Joe? Oh, so not that long ago. Is that your mom? Do you want to tell us a little bit about her? Or maybe your favorite mom story or one thing you learned from her? There you go. You're a credit and an honor to her memory. Let's say Kaddish, page 294. Oh, if anybody wants to rise in solidarity with those who are rising, or it's your custom, I invite you to do so now. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach leolam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudisha brichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Ose shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'yimeru. Amen.
May her memory always be a blessing. We can be seated. Hey, Joe, are you up for making announcements? Want to do announcements? You want to do announcements? Yes, please. Right here, front and center, with the mic. You bet.
Oh, jeez, you're even holding that for me?
Sure, be front.
Newsflash. We have been pre-approved to receive $1.5 million from FEMA so far, and actually expect more. The social hall renovation is happening, but we need everyone to donate to cover the 10% FEMA doesn't pay. If you haven't stepped up to take the high challenge, now is the time. Donate a multiple of high, that's 18 for 12 months. If every family donates 180 for 12 months, we would meet or exceed our needs. If $180 is too much of a stretch, can you do 126 or 72 or $36 monthly? You name your multiple, but we hope every single member of our community will donate to this important effort. Find the High Challenge page on our website or find the link in the weekly or newsletter. Watch for announcements for our groundbreaking ceremony and celebration coming soon. Urgent update, matching funds available. A generous member has offered to match up to 10 families who commit by December 31st to donate $180 for 12 months. Make your donation go even further. Pledge, pay now. Does your workplace match charitable donations? If you don't know, find out and help make your donation dollars go further. Lots of companies do. Ask about Benevity. We have also dropped all mask and vaccine requirements. We have, however, established a, quote, mask required section of the sanctuary for people who feel most comfortable sitting near other masked people. Come to services and double your mitzvah points by just pushing a couple of buttons. Talk to Seth Lubin about being part of the tech crew to ensure our services are live streamed to all at home. Plenty of other ways to rack up those mitzvah points, folks, by volunteering a little or a lot, or just ask Tom or Rabbi at the Oneg. Religious School will meet this Sunday. It's Family Fun Day where parents join in the learning. PJ Library of Hudson County is sponsoring a toy and PJ drive through December 22nd. You can find the email address to make arrangements in the weekly email. Our Hanukkah celebration and latke and donut,
Sufganiyot. Good.
feast, and will take place on this coming Friday, December 23rd at 6 p.m. BYO Hanukkah and candles, and help us flood our sanctuary with light and song. Play. Hoboken presents LatkaCon on Sunday, December 25th, featuring activities for children and adults. For details and a registration link, see the weekly email. Our Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. commemorative service will be January 20th at 7:30 p.m. Our guest speaker will be Jonathan Holloway, president of Rutgers University. Please note the earlier start time. The next Tot Shabbat will be January 21st at 10:30 a.m. for singing, dancing, story time, and other age-appropriate activities. The next Community Shabbat dinner will be on January 27th at 7 p.m. Reserve your place by January 24th. Details in the weekly. Again, there's a theme. Details in the weekly, guys. Change the world one meal at a time with 1 hour out of your week. This is really important too. Help feed our hungry and homeless neighbors Thursdays at our food pantry. Don't have an hour? Help feed them with a donation for the food we buy. Details on the website, or just show up. You'll be very glad you did.
Great job. Thank you. And we've got one more prayer. It's going to be Ein Kelohenu, page 322, and Motzi. Yum bum 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 ba da 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 dum. Yum dum bum bum ba da 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 dum. Yum da da dum bum bum bum. Ya da da da. Ya da dum bum 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 bum. Ein Kelohenu, ein Gadonenu, ein Kemalkenu. Ya da da ya da da ya da da na 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 na. Ya da da na 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 na. Ein Kemoshienu, mi Kelohenu, mi Gadonenu, mi Kemalkenu. Ya da da ya da da ya da da na 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 na. Ya da da na 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 na. Mi Kemoshienu, no de l'Elohenu, no de l'Adonenu, no de l'Malkenu. Ya da da ya da da ya da da na 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 na. Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Yananai, 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 Nanai, Yananai, Nanai, Atahu Moshienu, Yam Bam 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 Ba-da-da-da-dai, Yam Bam 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 Ba-da-da-da-dai, Yam Ba-da-da-da-da-dai, Yada-dai-nai, Yada-dai-nai-nai-nai-nai. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, I have a feeling it's a good one. That was good. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat.